what you can do is we'll come down here, new way, and I will say this, and I should basically get the same number of records, which I believe was 830. Okay, so if I select this, you will notice that again we are returning the same number of records. And the main difference here is basically you start out with your first table, you do the alias, inner join, second table, and then do the on clause. Okay, so fairly similar, but just I guess slight differences between the two. So I basically showed you the demo on the Northwind database. We are also going to use school database. In fact, let me do that now. I can save this. We'll call it join 1. Okay, and for my school database, I also already have a SQL script, which is school inner join. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to switch the database to school. Okay, now if you see, I am selecting department ID, department name, class ID, class name, department ID from the second table. Okay, and the first table is departments, inner join, classes, and then here's the common field. So let's go ahead and highlight this and run this, and then we can get some idea on what we're trying to do. So when I run this, you can see that I am getting 5 rows. In fact, let me do this. I will go ahead and order this. Order by ID dot department ID. Now if I highlight this again and run it, it should be sorted. So you can see that now we have our first department, which is these two classes are from IT. Okay, these are the classes that are being offered. So we're combining data again, like I mentioned, from departments and classes. Okay, and then the next class we have is from the science department, which is math 01, and then we have 2 classes that are being offered from the language department, which is introduction to English and also college writing. And here is the this last column is basically the department ID from C, which remember is the classes table, which is different than this department ID, which is from departments. Okay, but obviously these are the matching, that's the criteria that matches it. That's why you can see that this column is the same as this column. Okay, so that is basically how you pull common information from 2 tables. Okay, and let's move on to the outer join. And outer join is really used to bring matching and non-matching data from 2 tables. Okay, in other words, outer join can include rows even if they do not have related rows in the joined table. When do you typically use outer joins? Well, in order to find, let's say, corrupt data or non-matched data or missing data, that's when we will be using an outer join. Really, there are 2 main types of outer joins. You have a left outer join and you have a right outer join. So let me go to that. As far as the left outer join, let us try to study this possible scenario. Okay, what if we wanted to find out which customers in our database have not placed any orders so far, and in this case I'm talking about the Northwind database. So in other words, we need to know who is not buying our great products yet. I guess what is wrong with our products, or why are they being cheap. So this can definitely be achieved by using a left outer join. Okay, and another way to think of this is that basically all the rows from the first table, which is going to be the left table in the join clause, are going to be included. Okay, and then as far as on the right table, basically the unmatched rows do not appear, or they will appear to be non-matched. Okay, so as far as the demo, we are really interested in finding out customers that have not yet placed an order, and then in the second demo we are also trying to find departments in our school database without any classes. Okay, so let's switch over to Management Studio and see what we can get here. So I'm going to switch over to this. Let me go ahead and I will leave the inner join open, and I will go ahead and open up my I believe this is this join information. Okay, before I even do that, I am going to copy my original query from my Northwind database. Okay, what you can do in SQL, as far as when you're switching between databases, you can use the use command. Okay, and this way when you highlight this, it'll switch from school to Northwind database. Now the only thing you really need to do in here is you need to switch this to in fact, let me do this. This one I ran, remember that highlight this one, that we have 830 rows. Okay, that means there are 830 orders that have been placed by our customers. Okay, now for the outer join, all I need to do is basically switch this to a left outer, and what that means basically is that I would like to return all the customers that are in our database regardless of they placed an order or not, because remember, this brings matching and non-matching. Okay, so I would expect this to be at least 830, maybe even higher. So let me execute this. So now you can see that we have 832 rows. That means there are looks like 2 customers out there that do not have orders. Now how do we figure that out? We can let me copy this again, go down here, and I will say where basically these are the customers that on the order side do not have customer ID, so I will say customer ID is null. Okay, now when I do this, if the syntax is right, I should get 2 rows. Okay, so now here are the culprits. Somebody needs to get on the phone and talk to them and say, hey, what's going on? I guess one of them is in Paris and one of them is in Spain. Maybe harass them and get them to buy something from your company. Okay, so that was an example of left outer join using the Northwind database. The other one I mentioned is basically departments in the school database without any classes. Okay, so if you think about it, you are going to start with the departments table, left outer join classes. Okay, and then we'll see where that gets us. So I do have the syntax in here. Now this time I'm going to say use school database. So let me actually just go ahead and run this, and then maybe I'll explain it. It's not it's not a whole lot different. Okay, so first let's look at the code. Okay, what we're saying here is return the department ID from D. Well, what is D? D is departments table, department name. Let me even go down to the next line. Okay, so that means basically everything in the first line is from departments, and everything from the second line is from the classes table, which is C. So I need you to return the class ID, class name, and the department ID as this. What this is doing is we're giving it a different name, because remember, this is department ID, which is going to be confusing because we already are using department ID. So I'm just giving it a username, so I have a better idea of which one is it. And now in the from clause, I get my first table, which is my left table, and then I do a left outer join, and then my second table on this field. So let me go ahead and run it one more time. Now when I run it, basically, interestingly, there is only one row that looks kind of odd. Okay, so let's take a look at it. It's the department ID, and that is 2. It is in the department of CS, but guess what? There's no class ID no class name, and no class department ID. So in other words, these three pieces of information are missing. Well, what does that mean? Well, we do not have any classes being offered in the computer science department. Remember when we ran this originally, okay, it's not this one, let me close this one. When we ran this originally, which is using an inner join, other than that everything looks the same, okay, we only got 5 rows, okay, and we do not see anything from CS in here, whereas when we do the outer join, we are in fact getting 6 rows. So here is the basically a way for you to find out what is not matching between multiple tables. Okay, so that's an example of a left outer join. Let's go ahead and save it